to the murderer. I believe you have just a little bit of a conscience left. And I can assure you that how you left them in that woods is not what they're experiencing today.
In Nathaniel Hawthorne's Young Goodman Brown, Goodman Brown is walking through the woods expecting to meet the devil. It is unclear if this encounter is a dream or reality. Goodman begins to feel nervous about the woods, which he perceives as inherently dangerous and possibly wicked. The forest is characterized as devilish, frightening, and dark. Like Eve in the book of Genesis, Goodman Brown cannot help himself from wanting to know what lies behind the mystery of the forest. The Bible tells us that Adam and Eve were exiled from the Garden of Eden and forced to undergo all the trials and tribulations of being human. As such, Goodman Brown loses his innocence because of his inherent corruptibility. Good evening, my dear friends. Thank you for tuning into this very special episode of True Crime Jesus. In my previous video, Paradise Lost, we discussed Delphi's loss of innocence, or perceived innocence. My friends, it's been 4.5 years since Delphi's daughters, 14-year-old Liberty German and 13-year-old Abigail Williams, were found murdered in the woods near the historic Delphi Trails and Monon High Bridge. Law enforcement has remained tight-lipped on their investigation, while on social media, a wary public continues to be bombarded with exotic narratives and theories, nefarious persons of interest, and numerous so-called information leaks. In Carroll County, the woods offer an abundance of great outdoor recreation. One can receive exclusive hunting rights for all games in most cases. These hunting leases offer some great outdoor recreation for all types of hunters, consisting of white-tailed deer, turkey, squirrel, upland game, rabbit, waterfowl, as well as excellent fishing opportunities. The vast acreage of forest and privately owned land makes this a virtual playground for the outdoorsman, the avid hunter, hiker, the geocaching enthusiast, and perhaps the diabolical predator.
It'll be a different hunting season.
1 year ago, in my video, The Geocache Theory, we examined a person of interest that for this video will only be referred to by his initials, CM. CM is an archaeological professor from a university in a nearby city. CM was conducting archaeological digs in Delphi for several years leading up to the murders of Delphi's daughters, Abigail and Liberty. CM was also intimately involved with geocaching between 2013 and 2017. CM had several geocaches around Delphi. One near the Monon High Bridge and the trails, which was mysteriously deactivated immediately after the murders. There are literally millions of these little containers hidden all over the world.
We believe you are hiding in plain sight.
Hiding in plain sight is a phrase geocachers use to describe geocaches that are right in front of their faces, but they are unable to see them. CM was an avid user of the website geocaching.com between the years 2013 to 2017. Archeo Krampus mysteriously went dormant after the murders. One can use this site to log, locate geocaches, and even place your own geocache. You can keep track of who has visited your geocache. Users log geocaches to gain experience on their geocaching.com profile. Another regular user of the site was Kelsey German. Kelsey had a basic membership. Kelsey logged 2 of CM's premium geocaches. First logged was the Silurian Reefs of Delphi premium Earth cache on July 3rd, 2016. The second was CM's Moss Cemetery premium geocache that was logged 2 days before the murders on February 11th, 2017. Both of these geocaches were owned and maintained by CM. On November 27th, 2016, the Stones of Freedom Bridge premium multi-cache was logged. This multi-cache requires counting stones and completing math problems to receive the coordinates. With the coordinates, you can then find the geocache container to sign the log. The Freedom Bridge forms the connecting link to the Monon Trail. Although CM doesn't own this geocache, Kelsey and CM were the only 2 people who logged and commented on this geocache that day. Kelsey commented first, so we know she was there first. CM's premium membership would allow him to send messages to other geocache accounts, including basic accounts. On February 11th, 2017, the last day that Kelsey and Libby supposedly geocached together, Kelsey and Libby logged 4 geocaches. One of those geocaches, Moss Cemetery, was the second of CM's premium geocaches logged by Kelsey. It was never explained how Kelsey had access to CM's premium geocaches, since a premium geocache would not be accessible to a member with a basic account. There were a total of 18 geocaches Kelsey logged on geocaching.com. 2 of the only 3 premium geocaches she logged were owned by CM. Months earlier, was it just a mere coincidence that the only 2 individuals to log the geocache at Freedom Bridge on the same day were Kelsey and none other than the local college professor, CM? From observing CM's online activity, It was clear the professor had a fascination with German history and folklore. All his screen names across various social media platforms all end with the number 1939. The professor makes many references to a mythological creature known as the Krampus. We already discussed CM's travel bug, which contains the Krampus charm that he keeps on his person at all times. Also on his charm are 2 tiny trowels. On the United States Department of the Interior geological map from 1962, 2 trowels mark the site of the old gravel pit. Those exact coordinates are also where Abby and Libby were murdered. Krampus is a half-goat, half-demon creature whose origins are traced back from German folklore, with roots going back centuries to ancient paganism. Krampus was depicted as frightening and gruesome, and would appear during the Christmas season with a large basket strapped to his back that was filled with bound children. He would then take them to his lair in the forest for torture, drowning, beating, and then transported to hell. According to the myth, Krampus always carries a bundle of birch branches to beat and terrorize naughty children. This is interesting when you consider the Delphi crime scene was amongst birch trees. Libby was also found nude and covered with birch branches. There is also a German tradition in which children would leave their shoes out for Krampus to fill with treats if they had been good. If naughty, their shoes would be filled with a birch rod. Interestingly, or perhaps telling, one of Liberty's shoes was at a different location. Perhaps a souvenir for a sick and diabolical predator. At the times of the murders, CM had an ongoing archaeological dig. Preparation for this particular dig began many months prior. CM grew up in the Delphi area and has a vast knowledge of Deer Creek, the surrounding woods, and the Delphi historic trails. At the time of the murders, CM led an ongoing archaeological dig at Baum's Landing. Baum's Landing is located along a section of the Delphi historic trails, only 1.1 miles from the crime scene, literally a short walk through the woods. CM published archaeological booklet titled Early Pioneers of Carroll County, Indiana. The booklet introduces the readers to the science of archaeology and the archaeological research at Baum's Landing, copies of which were sold at the Wabash and Erie Canal Conference Center, the site of law enforcement's 2019 press conference. Was law enforcement's decision to hold the press conference there a cryptic message to the killer? CM divorced his wife, who bears a striking resemblance to Kelsey. Could the divorce and the absentee father to his kids be the stressor that sent these tragic events in motion? Was he perusing the geocache website and saw Kelsey's account and began stalking her? Was he expecting to see Kelsey that day and became enraged when he discovered Libby instead? Perhaps he believed he was being rejected again, and that set him off. On March 20th, 2020, a post appeared on Reddit from a user that called himself Josh Shure. This person claimed to be the boyfriend of a female student that was present in CM's classroom lecture on the day of the murders. Josh Shure posted her class notes from February 13th, 2017. These were the notes that were posted. It is interesting to note their class notes only contained tabs for the weeks of February 2017. Nothing before, nothing after. Reddit user Valkyrie Chic performed a handwriting comparison. As you can see, the notes appear to be written by two different people. Some think one author writes more masculine, and the other writer more feminine. The account, Josh Shure, only made this one post and then disappeared. The user never responded to any questions or comments on their post. The user also didn't respond to any private messages. The schedule he showed was the generic schedule that anyone can find online. Reddit user Lowerbird thought that Josh Shure's alibi post linguistically created distance between the writer and bridge guy. Lowerbird wrote, the two times he typed BG, he didn't just write BG or bridge guy or even the killer. He wrote the man they call BG and this guy called BG, which both add distance between the writer and bridge guy. The writer never used Libby or Abby's names in the alibi post. Only once did he refer to Abby and Libby. When he did, he didn't say the more common the girls, but instead said the teens, which could be considered another linguistic element that added distance. CM's soil morphology course describes itself as a project-based course, and that students will be encouraged to engage in ongoing faculty research projects. Weekend field trips may be required. If weekend field trips may be required, is it possible they had a field trip on that Monday during the scheduled class time? In the United States of America, everyone is completely innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. On an ending note, I think it's important to mention that CM was not seen in Delphi on the day of the crime by anyone. He also has zero history of violence. Not a single person has come forward anywhere stating otherwise. We do not know if what evil lurks from my previous videos or Josh Shure from this video have any connection to CM at all. Everything I presented could be a complete coincidence. CM has never been named by law enforcement as a person of interest. Everyone is completely innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. In Hawthorne's Young Goodman Brown, Goodman lost his innocence because of his inherent corruptibility, which suggests that whether the events in the forest were a dream or reality, the loss of innocence was inevitable. Goodman had made a personal choice to go into the woods to meet the devil. My friends, Delphi's daughters, Liberty German and Abigail Williams, were taken from this world by an evil, diabolical predator that used the woods as his personal playground. It has been more than 4 years since these 2 teenage girls were brutally murdered. Today, a new park, a new playground, the Abby and Libby Memorial Park, to honor 2 young girls who were killed in the woods in Delphi. While building the Legacy Park in honor of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, Abigail's grandmother unearthed multiple rocks shaped like hearts in the field. "We've always said this was a legacy of life," said Diane Erskine, Abigail's grandmother. "We don't want headstones. That's not what we had planned for them. Plans of life and growing up, and so they're not here physically, but spiritually and emotionally." That is all the time we have for you this episode, my dear friends. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, then please do me a kindness and do so. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to announce we passed 4,000 subscribers. I would like to say thank you to all my loyal viewers. I look forward to making many more videos. This episode would not have been possible without the nutrition and sustenance that True Crime Jesus receives from his favorite heavenly treat, Ben & Jerry's Chocolate Therapy Ice Cream. Chocolate Therapy Ice Cream is a magnificent concoction of chocolate ice cream, chocolate cookies, and delicious swirls of chocolate pudding. That is why True Crime Jesus is so good at solving crime. I'd also like to thank my good friend and co-writer of this fantastic episode, Blue Angel. It is always a pleasure working with him. I appreciate all his efforts and hard work, and I do hope that we can work together again soon. So, until we meet again, my dear friends, this is True Crime Jesus, signing off.